What it is, what it is. Welcome back to Live with Ness. How is everybody doing this fine Tuesday? What it is, chat? What's going on? Let everybody jump in here. Changing it up a little bit. I had to add a little bit of music so I can tune out a little bit. All right. What's up? What's up? What's going on? All right. As usual, we will start this with are there any updates for shipping for all of the remaining states? No, unfortunate. No, there's no updates as of yet, unless folks have updates here live right now in terms of states. So as it sits, again, biggest state right now, or one of the biggest states, would be California, Washington, D.C., Washington State are still not able to get orders in on the Play On website. And that's just for the Ultimates, for those of you that are tuning in for the first time. So if this is your first time tuning in to the live, tuning into my channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. We're talking about all things Neo Geo, so this is the time to, ask questions, etc. All that good stuff. What it is? I'm doing good. How are you doing? He said the money hour. What's going on? Let's see. Let me kind of take a look here and see if we have anything else going on for the states. Let's see. Neo Geo AES Plus shipping. Let's see. Issue. All right, so yeah, no updates. Still affected. Let's see here. We have, Florida still blocked. Do we have any Florida folks in here that can confirm Florida? New York is another one. Hey, you got congratulations in Ohio for those that were able to get. I know, hey, it's something to be happy about right now, most definitely. So it's all good. It's all good that you got it. But couple of things. I have another video dropping tomorrow. So tomorrow evening. It'll probably be like 5 Central time, but I'm actually kind of excited for this one. I almost wanted to drop it today, but we're all kicking it and chilling and talking right now, so I figured this would be, I'll save it for tomorrow. It's definitely different. I actually learned some things during this video, so hopefully that you all will find value in it. It's a little bit more educational on the Neo Geo side, but I haven't seen anyone doing it to that extent, so hopefully you all will enjoy it. Let's see. I'm from Florida, but I did my pre-order through Amazon. Okay, so you did just the black, or did you do the anniversary edition, Adam, on Amazon? I wonder how many AES Plus consoles they are going to end up making. I was able to get the Ultimate here in Ohio too. I don't know. That's a good question. There's a lot of pre-orders going on right now, so we'll have to wait and see what's going on. I didn't get it. What's going on the shipping? Okay, it's been a while since people started talking about it. I pre-ordered my unit directly from the website, and I also have a U.S. shipping address. So for those of you that don't know, or you probably placed your order within the first like 72 hours of the pre-order dropping. We had some issues here in the States, and this is state by state case where tax and tariff situations happen. So Play On's having to individually go to each individual state to get those lifted. so people can actually place those orders for the Ultimate Edition on PlayOn's website. And this is only specific to the Ultimate Edition, so folks can order on Amazon, all that good stuff. There hasn't been any complications there, but the Ultimate Bundle is what everyone's been wanting to get their hands on. So there's a bit of FOMO right now, especially for the states that have not been able to get their orders in. So I'm hoping we get some news soon. I hope so, but hopefully. Are you getting any of the Valve hardware? No, I'm not doing the Steam machine or anything like that. I have a Steam Deck. I use that pretty regularly, but no. I'm in this place now where I'm not going to be buying too many more consoles. So I'm definitely investing on the AES Plus, and then I still have my Series X and my original PlayStation 5, but as it sits right now, I really don't see myself picking up any of the new gen consoles, especially mainly due to the pricing. I know that's kind of weird saying that due to, I have Neo Geo and all that stuff, but I got to see a value in it. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Valve makes great machines. Don't get me wrong. They make great products. Their OS is amazing, but yeah, maybe time will tell. We'll see what happens. Maybe on the 1st, it may be taken care of. I was the 1st of July when I got. Maybe we'll get the final hoorah run in August, and folks will be able to get it going. Okay, Adam, you got the anniversary edition. Nice. You got that white console with the white slug. That's going to be a nice one. Hey, dude, new to the channel. I recently ordered the Ultimate Edition from PlayOn. Have you ever used Neo Old Store for repro carts? I have ordered from Neo Old Store for manuals. Actually, let's see. Yeah, I can show you real quick. Bear with me here, folks, while I try to maneuver myself around this tight space. So, I ordered a manual from Neo Old Store. So this is a Super Dodgeball. It's a conversion. I got the insert from Southtown Homebrew and had it measured and cut for an AES snap case. But here is the manual. So they didn't make anything in English, but it's a Japanese manual. Mind you, there was never an AES version of this game, but whoever did it, not too bad. So I would love to see an actual, PlayOn decides to do this game. That's going to be a day one pickup for me because it's an amazing game. But yeah, I haven't messed with the repro carts at all on their site. Just mainly just manuals for conversions and stuff like that. That's mainly it. Mr. Anderson, they might ship in waves. You know what? I kind of agree with that. I really do. I think they may end up shipping in waves. Who knows? We'll have to see. But I think with the massive amount of orders coming in or that have come in, it makes the most sense to do that, to ship in waves. Hopefully it doesn't, hurt too much in terms of who gets what batch and when they come in. Bro is saving all money for Kazuna. No. Hey, I'll be honest. Kazuna is, and I know a lot of people find it blasphemous, but I'm not a fan of Kazuna. I'm not. Like, I get it's a rare game. It's not my favorite fighter by any means. And I have like 2 copies of it NCI. So I've got, let's see. I think this is the one. Yeah. So I have an NCI copy here. Plays great. Plays really good. But yeah, I don't need it. Prediction. How many AES Plus will end up being sold? The original AES CD run over mini was near. You know what? Because the hype is crazy right now, and the price point, I could honestly see them over time, getting to that point, getting to that number. That would be kind of cool to see. Hard to invest in a new system that won't provide physical media. Glad we're having this revival. Oh my goodness, for sure, for sure. Looks legit. Time to blog, watch reviews. I've been a Neo Geo fan since I was a kid. Way out of my parents' league back in the day, as it was for mine as well. So stoked to finally get the AES Plus. All that hype led me to your channel. Love what you do, Ness. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much. The smartest game ever made. What's up, Dan? What's goody, gang? Hope everyone is having a great day so far. Random. I picked up Samurai Showdown Collection. Nice seeing the difference between Samurai Showdown games. Dan, did you pick it up on Switch, or what platform did you get it on? Of course. I wanted to order Super. Hey, there you go. Any word on Washington? Washington is still on the naughty list right now, so we don't have any updated news unless anyone else in the chat has something else on that. So we're still waiting on that. Let's see. What? I knew you were gonna say something. First tag. I know. Maybe I don't give it enough love. I don't know. Maybe. Question. Getting the white one for my husband, but I read somewhere that there are some games that will not come out because of licenses. What games would be on the cheaper original? You're probably looking at you're looking for just the first print stuff. There's a couple of games that you can probably do. Let me kind of give you a list here. You can't go wrong with some of the classics. So, NAM 1975. It's a great classic. If you're looking for something inexpensive, a lot of your first titles are going to be that. Magician Lord, even though a lot of folks in the chat are like, no, not Magician Lord, because it's so difficult. That's going to be another one. If you're looking for a different variety on something, Cross Swords is actually surprisingly good. I actually like this game. It's a little bit longer than the average Neo Geo game. It actually has a fairly decent story. So it's definitely one. And I've done a review on this on the channel if you want to check it out. If you're on the fence on what kind of games I want to get. And then lastly, I would recommend Baseball Stars 2, but it's gotten really pricey lately. So hopefully that answers your question. They're going to run out of stock. Who's your team on KOF? Surprisingly enough, and it hasn't really changed over the years, I'm kind of generic, but my main team is, the Fatal Fury team. So, I normally swap Joe out, though, because I'll normally run like Terry and Andy, and then I may swap with Geo or Rio. But, it's just all those years of playing Street Fighter. So, like, all my Shoto characters, I use a lot of Shoto characters outside of, like, Capcom versus SNK2, where like my main was Sagat and I used them in K Groove. So that was kind of my jam back in the day when I was competing. Ordered the white AES Plus with the Shock Troopers. Shock Troopers is going to be really nice. Shock Troopers is, for those of you that I'm sure many of you know by now, but that was an MVS exclusive. So that's going to be really nice to see in the AES format for sure for the first time. Rumors I heard, which may be fake, is that we're getting 10 more games in June of next year. Then it'll be 4 games every trimester. But I believe it when there is an official announcement. Yeah, Dave, I would just wait for PlayOn. There's so much going on online right now with rumors and speculation on how many waves and what games are coming and who's going to have the license and who's not going to have the license. Yeah, I'm just chilling over here. I'm confident that we'll have more games, but just time will tell. Time will tell. Really hope they release King of Fighters 98 and Sam Show 2 and Wave 2. Those would be great to add. I love those, especially Sam Show 2. Sam Show 2 is a classic. Good. KOF 2002, Magician, Lord Polestar, Garo, Big Tourney Golf. Let's go. Got them all. That's going to be a good list to have to get started in November. And I'm telling y'all, if y'all are still sleeping on Big Tournament Golf, man, if there was ever a game I would ever recommend you, it's going to be that game. That game is so good. It's so good. Sorry, I'm trying to get through these comments, y'all. Apologies. Dark Lord, what's going on? Has anyone talked about how this digital future is affecting the rest of the world? Japan is still a very physical culture. They have a lot more secondhand stores too. This will destroy Akihabara. You know what? That's a good talking point for sure. I think here in the States, I don't know. We're a little bit greedy, which is why our prices are a lot higher than, other variants and variations that we see across the planet. You may have a game here that's $200 and you go overseas and it's, $20, right? It's kind of crazy how that happens. But yeah, I think as more tourists go and venture to other countries where, like, especially Japan, I think they're seeing that right now where, okay, physical's going away. Okay, time to go scoop this stuff up. Let's just go to the source. So there might be a little bit of that. Dan, Ness, I picked it up on Switch. I might think Sam Show 2 might be my favorite. 5 Perfect is interesting to go, though. Okay, yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, we have Alpha Mission, Viewpoint, Baseball Stars, and then 2020, and then okay. So you got Baseball Stars and you got Baseball 2020. Okay. And then King of Monsters 2. That's a good lineup. Other than Neo Geo, any other consoles you're interested in to see a re-release like the AES Plus? I'm not going to be as hyped for any other console than I am the Neo Geo, but if I had to select, it would be like a Sega console. So I'd be cool with like a Saturn Dreamcast hybrid. That'd be kind of dope. I know that's not the original or anything like that, but if it was like fully green-lit by Sega and then PlayOn was to do that, where you could play Saturn games and Dreamcast games, that would be kind of dope. That's just, Florida's still on the naughty list for my Florida Neo Geo Ultimate fans. Oh, man. No Yuri? Sometimes. It's not my main, but, I go through these moments where I kind of pick different characters, and then when I want to get outside the box and work with, another team, I kind of do that. I'd probably say I probably need to do better. I used to play a lot more fighting games than I do now. I find myself playing like other games more now than I do fighting games. So my fighting gameplay has gotten a little rusty. But if Mr. Rightway's still in here, he knows I can still whoop him up. I got that on camera. So yeah. Shots fired. Don't you think we should be hearing more from PlayOn? I wish they would share more product videos. Yeah. To me, though, the thing I'm thinking about here is I would have, if I was in a state right now that I couldn't order an Ultimate, that is the main focus that I'm worried about. Is like, you're over here advertising all this good stuff for me or for these other folks that got access and I can't get it, right? So the way I look at it is like, fix the let's heal the boo-boo right now that's in the community when it comes to, like, let's not duct tape it or put a Band-Aid over it. Let's fix the major issue. And I know that's not globally, that's just here in the States. Because everywhere else there are some places that can't even order at all, right? Just due to shipping and logistics and all that. So there's the unfortunate truth there. There's folks here that, state issues, they can't order. And then we have this group of individuals here that is holding out so they can get what they want. And then we have the rest of the population who's like, all right, I already pre-ordered everything. What's coming? I need games. I need accessories. I need to know all this. So I get it. And it makes perfect sense. The way I look at it is We know the date that it's coming out. We know the console, and I'm pretty sure the way I look at it, probably 2 months closer, we're going to be getting all kind of information, and it's just going to come out and it's going to get everybody hyped. So I think we'll be all right, but time will tell. I say all that, and I could be completely wrong. Let's see. In Florida, ordered the Ultimate. The evening play on announced, and my order went through. Feels weird that many in Florida can't get the Ultimate. I know. It's unfortunate. Hopefully, we have some positive news coming soon. Thank you. I'll look into those games. He does like arming games. Okay, cool. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Slug, but of course you're going to get that with the new game, and that's going to be a much affordable way to get the game. Let's see here. Matt, what's going on? I only played SVC to be able to play Capcom characters on the Neo. That being said, I would buy if they were able to get Capcom license for the AES Plus. Hey, that's going to be a definite banger. If we get that in a wave, that's going to be insane to see. Hopefully we get to see that game, because that definitely needs to be in this new lineup. And there's a lot of players that want that game, and we've had updated versions on PlayStation and all that stuff, but a lot of folks that want it on the AES, I mean, the first prints are going for like $1,800, $1,900. And let's see. Let me take a look here. I'm going to try to pull something else out here, y'all, so bear with me. There she is. The cover is so nice, though. I love this cover. So I hope, whatever they decide to do, if they did bring it out, that they try to keep it close to the original, whatever that's going to look like, because that just pops on the screen. SVC. If the AES Plus gods visited you in a nightmare and asked you, Ness, we are only making one game for the AES Plus. You get to pick the game. Oh, man, come on. What kind of question is this? I can't answer that. Oh, man. I can only pick one game. The funny thing is that Garo is like my game. Garo is my game. But Turf Masters, I'm sorry, I gotta pick Turf Masters. I've had Garo for quite some time. But if I had a physical copy of Turf Masters, that would get paid more than my Garo does. So, and I know that's crazy. A lot of people's like, what, a golf game? Like, hey, it's just my jam. I play something that's, I can relax while I'm playing the game. I don't have to get too, sweaty or try hard on it, So, should I get Polestar or Twinkle Star sprites? That's a good question. So it's really going to depend on your preference. Twinkle Star is, I would align that with more family oriented. It can be difficult, but it's bright. The sprites are very vibrant, colorful, very cutesy in a way. And if you've got kids, or if you've got nephews, nieces, etc., that like to come over and play, I would probably lean closer to Twinkle Star. Now, if you're just into your shoot 'em ups and all that good stuff, and you want a little space battle and some crazy bosses that are ultra hard, and give you a little bit of a challenge, then go Polestar. I don't think Sony's smart money is on the companies seeing the amplitude of Sony and feel one sure there's money there. Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I was trying to read all that. Sony's. Okay, I got it. Horrible misjudgment will hurt. So smart money is on the companies that see that. You know what? I think it's just timing. This was a whole timing thing for PlayOn. I don't think anyone knew that this was going to be at this level. So it's just like right place, right time, in my opinion, right? And I think if they do this right, they set themselves up for a quite a long time to really make some big moves and waves in the industry, which I hope happens, because I'm sick of reading stuff on Sony, stuff on Microsoft. I'm sick of it. I'm over reading articles, and it seems like every other day. I mean, PlayStation Network was down. Xbox Live was down. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, what else is gonna happen? Like, everyone's accounts get deleted, and all your gamer scores and trophies get deleted. I'm like, what's gonna happen next? Hello. Do you think the Neo Geo White Edition will be available post pre-order? I mean, I would assume so. I mean, since it's gonna be, they don't have that gated like the Ultimate Edition, but I would probably assume that it will be out for a certain amount of time and they'll stop and then they'll just stick to the traditional black console. That's a good question. I have no idea. I actually haven't thought about that in terms of how long will they have the anniversary edition go. Sega. Japan is not fighting back for physical. I have yet to see a single Japanese post or streamer pushing back. Then again, I don't speak or read Japanese either. Who knows? Who knows? I think it's some folks are more vocal than others, and some folks will voice their opinions through their actions. And what I mean by that is they'll put it to the pocketbook. I'm not going to spend my money, and I don't have to yell to the mountaintops to tell you all that I'm not going to be spending my money with this organization anymore. And then time will tell. The stats will come out, and they're like, oh crap, we messed up. Is that going to be, are they going to be able to walk it back after, 2 years of telling everyone we don't care what you think, we're going to go down the path that we chose? Who knows? Decide to lock in on the white console edition. My grubby fingers would turn the nice finish of the regular Ultimate editions into smeared mess in no time flat. Okay. Oh man! Whoa, we had a whole. Let's see, a Dukin. Play on out here giving us the Sony treatment, not saying nothing. I mean, so what? I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say it's like that, because Sony just, like, for instance, Sony dropped that what did they put out there? They put out that record player, that new record player that plays vinyls, and it got like 2 million views, but everyone in the comments was like, how are you going to talk about physical vinyls and you're taking away physical video games? So it's crazy. It's crazy. What's up, Tay? What's going on, brother? What's up, Ness? I ordered that one joint and one of every game. Oh ho ho ho! Tay's in the Neo Geo house now. I like it. Appreciate it. Hey, you have to let me know what you think, man. All right, dude. Ordered my repro of Super Dodgeball from Neo Old Store. I'll let you know when I get my AES Plus if it works or not. You didn't want to wait? You just didn't want to wait until you got your console? That way, if you needed to return it, you could, or anything like that. Is it true He-Man is eventually coming out on Neo Geo? That is the going rumor right now. Yeah, I need to read more on that. I know someone was asking me last week about that, but if we get He-Man, that'd be cool. That'd be real cool if we get that. So that'd be real nice. Let me switch some music here, because I'm over here. There we go. Music was, I could only listen to the same SNK or SVC track so much, or no, CVS track, sorry. Would you trust using a multi-cart on the system? There's been a lot of folks talking about multi-carts. Vertec has discussed it. A couple other folks have discussed it, that everything should work just like the original console. We just have to test and see what doesn't work and what does work, what works better and what doesn't work better. So there's a lot of folks that have proactively gone out to buy multi-carts, etc. So I think a majority of you will be in a good place. Do you think they're going to support the AES Plus after the initial set of games? I would say so. That's just my opinion. Hypothetically, allegedly, possibly. Who knows? But my opinion, I think so, yes. It's obviously Garo too. Will this new console play the OG games? Yes, it will. Yeah, so it is backwards compatible for all the OG titles. So, and there's many of the folks in the chat right now that have gone out to buy first print copies in anticipation for the AES Plus, solely due to some folks thinking that licensing may be an issue for certain titles, so they're trying to acquire those games now to have them to round out their collection for some of the titles that they've been after for so long. So I think that's kind of where we're at right now with that. Sumo, awesome channel. Started following when the AES Plus was announced. Great content. Keep it up. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Greatly appreciate you dropping in. Adukin, if Limited Run brings He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction over to the AES Plus, they might sell a few systems. Yeah, they might. I think historically and statistically speaking, the thing that has sold a lot of consoles in the past has been really good quality games. So if they make a really dope game that everyone wants a piece of, you're like, oh, I want to play it on the AES Plus, then yeah, I can definitely see them selling some consoles. And I want to see that. I want to see more games. I want to see new games that we've never seen on the console before. I want to see sequels to games that we saw back in the day, and now they get, you know, repolished, refinished, new sprite animation, all that, the jazz. I want all that. I would love to see all of that. That's where we're really going to be. We're going to be in the golden years of the AES Plus when we start seeing that. I wonder, Metal Slug will be the only white. I don't know. That's a good question, and I've been wondering about that, right? Because, you know, this Slug comes with this console. Do we get a special edition white version of another game later on down the road, or is this just a one-time thing and it's just going to be one of those very unique pieces to the collection for those that acquired one? So it's going to be interesting to see that. Microsoft and Sony are terrible now. Man, it's rough out there in those streets. Ness, what is Tiberius's favorite video game if you can use an educated guess? That's a good question. Masterpiece Theater likes he likes Real Bout 2. So he's a real big fan of Real Bout 2. That is one of his favorite games. He loves that game. So yeah, him and I have different we have different tastes in games. We can uniquely say we like Neo Turf Masters, but Real Bout is his game. And it's kind of funny too, right? Because we both love Neo Turf Masters, but he doesn't care for Garo. I care for, and he and I do, and he cares for RB2. I don't dislike RB2. I just prefer Garo over RB2. So it's kind of weird how that happens, huh? Like a split universe type thing. It's not Japan, but it's somewhere in Asia, since a lot of games get physicals only so in Asia. Asia is huge on physicals. Usually some games only come out physically in Asia, which is very true. Yeah, there's a lot of exclusives, even on the Neo Geo, that English audiences didn't see. So it makes perfect sense. Do you think PlayOn could tap into the Neo Geo's revival IGS? I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell. We'll have to see. Electro, what's up, man? What up? As long as FedEx and UPS have that overtime approved for November, we are Gucci. Thanksgiving vacation is going to be lit. Turkey and Garo, LOL. You got to burn those calories. You got to burn those calories while you're getting your turkey on. Any RPGs on Neo Geo? Not like you would think. There is Samurai Showdown RPG that was only offered on the Neo Geo CD. We are asking for a version of that game to make its way to the AES. So hopefully, and I mean, you could say, hypothetically, technically, there's a few games that kind of hit the borderline of it, like while Cross Swords is like a over the shoulder slasher, right? And it's kind of like the wire slasher type style. The storyline kind of gives you RPG kind of feels, but it's not really an RPG. It's not you roaming the world and going to the next, location, and you've got 3 characters that you've got to use your combos and hit damage and all that. So it's not to that extent. We haven't seen something like that. Now, could we get that in the future? I hope so, because that's going to be a game changer if we start seeing stuff like that. What's going on, Tech Buzz? What it is? What it is? Can't wait. FOMO's for real, man. Hey, I'm FOMOing with y'all. I am FOMOing with you all right now. There is a Samurai Showdown RPG, but it would be great if there would be. Yes, I agree. I agree. In my opinion, every wave they release a white game. Ooh. You know what? So we talked about this. I don't know if it was on a video or if it was in a live a couple weeks back, but I would love to see. And I honestly probably don't need this. We probably all don't need this, but it would be nice to see like a future console color version that looks like an MVS colors, like the red and white. That'd be so fire. The candy cane. It would be kind of nice to see that, but who knows? Who knows? Question: with the first run of games coming out, do you think what do you think will be the best seller? What will be the worst seller? Sorry, not trying to start anything. Oh, I already know off top. Overtop is going to be the worst seller out of the first bunch. Guaranteed. Many of you have said you do not like Overtop, and Overtop will be, yeah, the least sold. If you didn't buy a bundle and you went and got a standalone console or you got the anniversary, Overtop's probably going to be the least purchased game. Now, the most purchased game, man, I don't know. It's going to be hard. I would say I don't want to put it all on the fighters because that's not a fair assessment. There's some really good quality games in that bundle, but Garo is going to be a heavy purchase. It's probably going to be one of the top. It's going to be in the top 3 for sure, if not top 2. Next to that, Metal Slug is going to be another one, and Shock Troopers. So those would be my top 3 out of those. Was that Richness in Blue from KOF vid? Folks in the comments were calling him Ness. So like digital Ness. And I'm glad they kind of caught on to that because the color scheme was kind of like the undertone of the video for those of you that went and watched the KOF 2002 video I did last week. I'll tell you, that took me a long time to edit, which is why I'm not doing a Mission Neo Geo video this week. You have a video coming out tomorrow, but it's more educational. So yeah, it's not it's not that. Let's see here. So those same rumors from before make the claim that 98 will have a white cartridge, but again, take this with a grain of salt. Sources, French YouTubers saying he'd tell me. Interesting. Damn, bro, you skipped my... What did I skip? What did I do? Let's see. I saw what you said. There's a Samurai Showdown RPG, but it would be great if there were more. Was there something else I missed? I don't see another question up here from you. What did I miss? Unless if that was meant as a question, I don't know. Please feel free to redo your question again, sir. And we'll take a look. It'd be cool for a demake for for City of the Wolves. Okay, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Kind of see that collection behind the 10. Yeah. You would. Your assessment is correct. Never had a Neo Geo. Seems like no one is really interested in Overtop and Magician Lord in the AES Plus launch title. Still think they seem fun, but I'm not worrying if I should. Cancel my pre-order of them. I mean, I think the real question is, and this goes for everyone in the chat, and then anyone who else would future watch this. The real question is what type of Neo Geo collector game player are you wanting to be, right? Are you someone that wants to acquire every single title for the console, or do you want select games that you know that you're going to enjoy, play, and you're done with it? That's the real question that needs to be asked. If you're one that says like, hey, I want to get every single game, then you need to buy every single game. Then the thing about it is there's going to be this time now where we're going to have so many people that are involved playing this game now that someone is going to bring to light certain aspects of a game that's going to drive more people to say, oh my gosh, I didn't know this was a thing. Let me go pick this game up now. It happens for a lot of games, even the underrated stuff out there. Someone may do a video and like, oh, this is so cool. And somebody else wants to get a hold of that game so they can try that and experience that for themselves. That happens all the time for a lot of different games, a lot of different consoles. So, yeah, I can give you my speculation on, certain games that I think and feel aren't the greatest, but that's just purely my opinion. I always tell all of you, like, do your due diligence, do your research. If you jam with certain games, then roll with that genre of games. And if you're not a fan of certain genres, don't mess with it, regardless if the FOMO is crazy or not. That's the feedback that I have for that. I think SNK said they were working on Samurai Showdown action RPG for modern consoles for Neo Geo. They should make a Fatal Fury RPG would be dope. That would be so good. That would be so good. Am I the only one to finally own a memory card? Can't wait to try it on an arcade, something I've only dreamt about. Yeah, that is going to be kind of nice. That is going to be kind of nice. Goro. What are you talking about, Tay? What are you talking about, Goro? Am I the only? Oh, yeah, are you ready? Yeah, you already said that. On the white carts, my best buddy ordered the ultimate, which I did not, but he wanted the white slug. We'll trade him my white slug for black slug and black shock troopers. Win-win, or will I regret? So you're trading him 2 games for 1? Am I reading that assessment correctly? So you're going to give up shock troopers and slug for just the white one? I mean, if you're asking me, that's not a good deal. That's not a good deal. I mean, they're both equally the same right now, at least. I mean, time will tell. It could be like, oh, the white one could be really expensive. That could become the case, but I wouldn't assume that based off of that right now. So, but if you're good with getting rid of shock troopers just because you got the ultimate and you're like, hey, these aren't my jam, then all good. If y'all have settled on that, all good. I do say that Shock Troopers is a solid game. It is a pretty good game. Very good game. I guess I'll buy Overtop since it will become rare since no one will buy it. Oh, Garo. Yeah, Tay. Sorry. Let me give you the Fatal Fury Mark of the Wolves. So on Dreamcast, it was Fatal Fury Mark of the Wolves. So it's basically the last Fatal Fury that was on Neo Geo. And then now we've seen City of the Wolves on the newer modern consoles. My bad. I thought you were talking about like Mortal Kombat. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Neo Ness is the best. Keep it. Hey, appreciate you something. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. Y'all are the best, man. Y'all coming in here, hanging out with me every week. This is nice. I love talking to you all. Still can't order Ultimate in Arizona. So Arizona is still... That's crazy that it doesn't show up on my list. Even though we've talked about it for the last couple of weeks. Arizona's still out. What do we have to do? Who do we have to bribe to get the rest of the states done so everyone can get that? See, that's what they're doing right here. This is what keeps folks quiet. You got to worry about the states. Once all the states are done, now we can start asking questions like, where are the other games at? Give us all the details on what's coming. That's what they're trying to do. No, I'm just joking. That was a joke, but yeah, maybe it's a bad joke. You see the pricing on DBZ GT Final Bout? No, I didn't. Is it something crazy? I still have my original copy from when I was a kid. So let's take a look. PS1. It's roughly about the same price. About $200-$300 from what I'm seeing. That's for the original Bandai version. Yeah, it's always. I mean, even when I was in high school, it was $300 after it went out of print. I remember GameStop was offering trade credit for $300, and I was like, absolutely not. I'm never going to see another Dragon Ball game. How wrong I was. I hope they bring back Xenocrisis for the Neo Geo. What they still Xenocrisis is still going. Bitmap still has it. unless you're talking about like a reswizzled version of it for that would come through Play On. That I don't know, but yeah, you can still. I think you can still pre-order that. Let me double check on Bitmap's website here. Our games. There's Xenocrisis. Let's take a look. Shop now. I don't care about all that. Oh, they are gone. Okay. Yeah, I don't see them up. Oh, there we go. No, Neo Geo's up. Neo Geo's up. It's 300 euros on the Bitmap Bureau's website. Yeah, they have it up. So, and I will, just for those of you that don't know, I will share my screen real quick so you can see that. Right here. Yep, so that's it. Not bad. Man, they made so many different variations of this game now. It's crazy. Got GBA, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, 64, Dreamcast. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Now, this game is what I'm looking forward to right here is Final Vendetta. This is the game I really want. I pre-ordered this one right here. The super limited version. I pre-ordered, look at that. Sold out. Sold out. I think this is a reverse cover, if I'm not mistaken, though. Oh, they don't even have pictures of the English anymore. I wanted to see the English ones. That's crazy. Yeah, but this one comes with a statue, so I'm actually looking forward to that. So we'll see what happens. Do you think PlayOn will let indie devs manufacture carts in-house to get costs down as well? I hope so. The way I look at it is, for those games right now, we're paying, like I just showed, 300 plus euros, a couple hundred or $300-400 for us in the United States for games through the indie studios, because they have to privately source their boards, chips, and all that stuff, configure everything on their own. So that's why it takes so long for a lot of those to get produced on the Neo Geo. They don't have to go through all that working through PlayOn. Now, I'm sure somebody somewhere is asking these questions, but do we hear anything about that yet? No. Also, do you have a super gun? If you weren't collecting Neo Geo, what would you be collecting? Sega Dreamcast, Saturn? Just wondering what other consoles you love. I don't have a super gun. I do have two consoleized MVSs. I have MVS 1, and then I've got an Atomic Wave, which I think I've shown on the channel, or I've shown on the live before. But yeah, I've got an Atomic Wave board that's got my only game in it, King of Fighters Neo Wave. So I've got that. And that goes into my Nova Blast. So that's really what I play my Nova Blast for. I know a lot of folks like to do the PC setups and all that stuff. I want to play all the original arcade style stuff so I can get that feel. But I have that. But outside of that, I was collecting Dreamcast. I was collecting Saturn. I was collecting Super Nintendo, 64, Xbox, PlayStation. I had all that. I got rid of it. But if I was never collecting Neo Geo, what console would I go after? It's probably going to be Super Nintendo, because that got the most of my gameplay as a kid. I had an NES, I had a Sega Genesis, but Super Nintendo got played the most at home. Would love to see SNES Dragon Ball fighting games get AES Plus port. That'd be kind of cool to see. I would love to see that. That'd be kind of dope. Best character and course on Neo Turf Masters. Any tips to get good? You know what? I honestly don't have a favorite course. I like Japan. The US course is good. I actually prefer Scotland on the CD version. I like that one too. But if you played that version, character wise, it just varies. Like, I don't stick to one character to play with too often. I try to play different characters every time I play, so it can just give me kind of a different approach to how I'm golfing. I will say this tips wise, don't just try to, hit max, get the max amount of force in your driver when you hit the tee box. You know, wind velocity, all of that. Um, where the direction of where you're facing on a certain fairway, all of that you need to take into account. The hook, the slice, all of that is subject to change depending on the course, depending on the conditions. It's very, I mean, it, I know it sounds crazy for such an old game, but the best players of that game, they can manipulate the club face, all that to get hole in ones and albatross and eagles and birdies a lot more than the average. Have I gotten that good? No, that's why I keep playing the game. Yeah. What kind of game is that? Garo is a fighting game, Tay. It's a fighting game. It's actually a really good fighting game. It's so, at the time there was two really big fighting games at the time, like around the 99 2000 time. You had, of course, Street Fighter Third Strike. A lot of folks in the community would compare, Garo, Mark of the Wolves, and Third Strike were the pinnacles of fighting games at the time. There's a big comparison there between the two. Someone tuning in right now will be real confused about this slug trading talk. Yeah. Would love to hear the story of how Tiberius came about, and will you ever do convention panels? So this is a great question. The Tiberius thing, actually, I don't even know how Tiberius really came about. So let me kind of break this down. So I had an idea, and I was trying to figure out a way to do something different that I could kind of break out of my shell. Because this is me being vulnerable online, right? It's really hard to be your authentic self online, especially when you're, you have there's the opportunity of being judged by individuals that don't know you. They could say some hateful things. They can say some positive things. My approach to it is I wanted to bring more light to certain aspects to Neo Geo that was more like the community secret. And a lot of folks from the outside looking in, they thought that folks were gatekeeping, and the way they looked at it is all these dudes and these old cats are bougie and they're all about their games and all that. And mind you, there are some individuals like that, but that's not everyone. And a lot of these folks are just your average day. They have 9-to-5s. They just love what they love, which is mint copies of Neo Geo games. They've been in the genre forever. So for me, I said I was going to make this more like a Mission Impossible themed kind of thing. I was going to be in black, white, and if you've ever seen the Twilight Zone, Rod Sterling, he comes on, he's like, he has a cigarette, and before they start the episode of the Twilight Zone, he's just like, in a time, in a world, and he kind of has that voice, and he's got the cigarette, which I don't smoke, so I wasn't going to do that. So I try to figure out what Tiberius was going to sound like. And early on, he kind of has this kind of British accent, but he's not British. And I wasn't trying to, perpetrate or anything like that. So over time, my voice changed. And I found that making him very opposite of who I am and how I, come across on video ended up being like this super positive thing, because Tiberius has his own opinions and I have mine, but that splits the audience when they're watching. So I started noticing that people were like, "Oh, I'm team Tiberius," and Ness, you're wrong. I'm like, what? So it ended up sparking from there, and then I just really got comfortable with the character, and it just kind of, he has his sayings, I have mine, and then here recently I've just gotten more comfortable like adding the future Ness and the Digi Ness and all that stuff. And I can't always do that because it's very time consuming. And for those of you that want to know, like, all that is freestyled off of the head. So I don't script any of my videos. I know some people say you need to script, you need to do all that. I build a structure for my videos, and then I follow that structure. But outside of that, everything I say on camera is just based off of my knowledge, and then I may do a retake here, and then when I edit it, I cut that and trim it down. So that's kind of how I do the Mission Neo Geo videos. But there's a lot of channels out there that do full reviews over the game, and they go down mechanics and frame rates and all that. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted it to be lighthearted, shine a little light over the game, my perspective and Tiberius's. And then hopefully that drives people to say, you know what, this was fun. I wouldn't mind watching another one. So hopefully that answers your question, even if it was long-winded. I imagine if they bring over Mortal Kombat Trilogy, ooh-wee, that would be nice. Aside from Neo Geo, what's another retro console on the top of your list? It's probably going to be the Super Nintendo, like I was talking about before. Super Nintendo is going to be it. I had Sega Genesis for a while, but and you know what? My fighters, like all the ports, all the SNK ports on Genesis, I actually prefer them over the Super Nintendo version. So that was kind of the weird trade-off with some of the Sega games. I was going after all the SNK ports, King of Monsters, Fatal Fury, all that stuff, and I actually preferred playing those. If I was to play a port version not on the Neo Geo, I preferred playing those on the Sega. Weird we can't pre-order Polestar on PlayOn or Amazon Canada, but it ships to Canada on Amazon USA or Amazon France for an extra 25 to 30. Really? I did not know that. That is very interesting. I want a Panasonic 3DO console to come back. You know what? I've had a couple of people tell me that they wouldn't mind seeing a Panasonic 3DO version. That'd be kind of cool to see. That'd be kind of cool. Me, Anniversary plus BTG Buddy, Ultimate plus Shock Troopers. I give him my White Slug. He buys extra Shock Troopers to make the trade 2 for 1. Okay. Does putting topography matter in Neo Turf Masters? I truly can't tell. I find that on some of the more difficult courses, and when you get on the back nine, you really can tell because there's a lot more. The structure of how they build the greens is a little bit difficult. So you could putt and you're going uphill and it's slanted to the right, or vice versa. There are some that are like that, so it can be a little difficult. So you have to kind of navigate that. When's the Neo Ness Tokyo Adventures coming? Oh, I have never been to Japan. I really want to go. That is on my bucket list. I really want to go. It is on my bucket list. Is it going to happen this year? Probably not. I'll have to plan that. Hopefully next year I'll have a little bit more free time to take a trip. Work's been crazy this year, so I don't see myself going any long distances for like 2 or 3 weeks for a vacation. Plus, if I do go, my wife's not going. She has told me she has no desire to take a trip to Japan. She prefers beaches, anywhere with ocean water and a lot of drinks. That is her jam. So if I go to Japan, it's probably I'm going with gamer friends, or I know my daughter wants to go, so I'll go first, kind of get the lay of the land and get the understanding, and then when she turns 18 or whatever, I'll take her before she goes off to college or something like that. That'll be my gift to her. We need the TMT. Turtles in Time. Yes, Turtles in Time would be so dope on there. What's up, Zelda? My boy, man. Zelda's my homie. This is my ride or die dude, man. This is my ride or die gamer dude, man. We've been gaming for over 20 years. Used to play that shit for hours the first time I played it. What's going on, bro? Let's see. Curious if the HD Retrovision Neo Geo cable will work with the AES Plus for tweaking the upscale further with RetroTink that the onboard HDMI. I believe it. Well, you said the HD Retrovision, because I've got. Do I have it over here? I might have it over. Oops. No, it's probably over there by the other side. let's see, who do I have? I'm trying to remember who I have. Because I have HD Retrovision for Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. I have all the components for it. I didn't get it um, for the Neo Geo. I have a SCART cable, and I do use a RetroTink 5X for my original. I'm interested to see what it's going to look like before I start hooking in RetroTinks and upscale, devices and etc. I want to see what it looks like just with the HDMI first, and I want to do a side-by-side comparison if the visuals look better or not, which I'm sure, upscaling it, but even so, I just want to see. 2 questions. How can I get a second arcade stick? It's sold out everywhere I looked. Can Turf Masters be played by 2 people with 1 arcade stick? For your first question, yeah, I take it you've looked on Amazon, because that would be your best bet to go and get an additional arcade stick. If they're sold out for you, then we're just gonna have to wait for them to get repopulated. Where are you located, Nico? We'll take a look and see. And then for question 2, can Turf Masters be played by 2 people? I mean, it is a 2-player game. I have not tested that for swapping controller ports, etc. I'm not going to say it doesn't work. I don't know. That's we could probably test that out and see if it works. And I don't have a way of testing that here, unfortunately. That would work. Otherwise, I would test it and get back to you on the next one. Scotland course will be on the AES Plus. I can't remember if it was able to be played on the arcades. Do you know if the course was included? It was not included on MVS. Yeah, it was an exclusive to the CD. So Scotland was only found on Neo Geo CD. So this is the first time we're seeing it in the AES side. We did not see it on the MVS. So that's another big plus. Is Sengoku 3 worth pick? Of course, yes. Sengoku 3 is amazing. That is my favorite out of the series. It is amazing out of the series. Sengoku 3 is a must beat 'em up game. Very good. It is pricey though. I will say that it does cost some ducats, some dollars. But it is a good quality game. What's up, Grail? What's going on, brother? Appreciate you tuning in. Hey, Ness. Hope that all is well. I tried ordering Xenocrisis from Bitmap a couple of months ago, and there's still no option. Select. Ooh, okay. Let me. You know what? I didn't even bother looking to see if I saw that was up on the site, but I didn't bother to see if it was orderable for the US. So let's see here. Well, I would give it a try. Because it's populating the checkout. Let me. Yeah. Oh, no. The product in your cart is not available for delivery to your. Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, this is a situation that's happening with Bitmap with the shipping to the US. I think that's an ongoing issue with shipping costs, which is it's the same thing we're going to run into with Final Vendetta when they finally launch that. Good call out, Grail. Yeah. Dang it. Oh, I need to get some updates on that to figure out what they're going to do on that. And this shipping stuff is annoying, dude, across everything. It's all we want to do is play some games, y'all. Like, why are they making this so hard for us? I'm Team Ninja, please. All right. Hi. Nice to see you live. Awesome. Hey, Madison. Or Madsen, I'm sorry. Madsen Webb. Okay. Question. You talk about Neo Geo CD games. Are they different enough where they could get their own release on the Neo Geo AES Plus, a CD version on a cart? Yeah. I mean, Samurai Showdown RPG is one example of that, right? Because it was only exclusively for the Neo Geo CD. And Cross Swords 2 is another one, right? We saw Cross Swords 1 on the AES, but we did not see a Cross Swords 2 on the AES. We saw it on the CD. So those are exclusives that can be brought over to the AES. Now, as it goes for games that we saw on the AES and they made their way to the CD, there are some games that have some additional things added. Might be a character, soundtracks are changed, new stages, things of that nature. That's not across all the games, but there was a few that was like that. So Earthworm Jim would be nice on the AES Plus. That'd be kind of cool to see. Does it have a SCART out? Not on the console itself, no. So you would need, I mean, basically you would just need to hook in a RetroTink for that. But no, it's AV and HDMI. I should go with Mr. Rightway and get that Hori Neo 2. Well, he's going back out there, so you know he's normally my my boots on the ground when he goes out there and he's looking for stuff. I just give him my list of stuff and I just Venmo him the money to bring me the items back, whether that's swag or posters or whatever. So I told him he needs to look for a Neo 2 because that's the only arcade stick I have left that I need to complete my collection. And that's not I have 2 controllers that I need to get, and the Neo 2 is the first on my list, and then the Mahjong controller is another one. I know that's very niche and all the Mahjong games are in Japanese, but I just want it for the collection. Now they're getting pricey, so it's not something I'm looking to buy right now. It's just whenever I'm ready, I'll get to it. What's up, Jared? What's going on? Good to see you, brother. Luke, do you think there will be an AES Plus exclusive titles rather than just ports? Well, I mean, you kind of have that. There's certain games on the AES right now that didn't get ported to any other console. They were just on the Neo Geo. But if you're talking about something brand spanking new, I don't know yet. I'm not quite sure. But there's a few, and mainly it's just like, for instance, 8-Man, right? 8-Man was on AES based off of a popular anime back in the day. You know, you're not seeing that port come across on a Super Nintendo or a Sega or anything like that. So, and time will tell what we see in that particular area. Ness, I heard you're a fan of Expedition 33. I did the English translation for the upcoming art book coming out in November. So if it doesn't make sense to you, you'll know who to blame. Hey, I love Expedition 33. That was an amazing game. Like I dropped 80 hours in my first playthrough of that game. Like that game had me hooked. Like all my free time, I was on the game. That story was amazing. Like I have a whole glass shelf over here off camera that's dedicated to just everything Expedition 33. So I've got, you know, the collector's edition, the Lumiere edition. I've got physical edition of a PS5, physical edition of Xbox One, and then I've got the collector's edition version that got put back up about late last year. That doesn't have the game, but it had the music box. Yeah, so if that tells you anything, I'm a huge fan of that game, and that joined my top 10 list of all-time favorites, just amongst video games. We talked about that. What's up, X-Man? What's going on? What is going on? Alex says, so I know everyone is geeked about the AES Plus $90 games, but those games were developed so no real cost. I assume any new games that will come to the AES Plus would cost over $90. We don't know. We don't know yet. I continue to knock on wood. So as long as, you know, we get them for the good old price of $90, I'm good with that. Now, can things change? Yeah, for sure. They can definitely change. As it sits right now, I'm happy with getting a lot of the games that I've been accustomed to dropping too much money on for $90. I'm real good with that. Okay, you're in Canada. Okay, okay. So we'll keep up on that to see what Amazon's doing there. Dan, Fightbox have an AES fight stick controller with Samwa components. Super. Ooh, man, Samwa buttons are so nice, man. I love Samwas. I swap a lot of my arcade machines with Samwa buttons and sticks. Um, my my Nova Blast has Sanwa, and then you know what? My MVSX doesn't. I had a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 arcade one up that Mr. Rightway has now. I swapped the buttons out on that with Sanwa buttons, but my MVSX has Hap buttons and I think Sanwa sticks in that one. So yeah. What's up, Antique? What's good, Ness? I see you and Mr. Rightway both ran from these hands in the. Hey, I didn't get the beta. Like they don't look at me for that kind of stuff. So I didn't get it. You know, I don't do enough Capcom stuff. I don't do enough of all that. I don't do enough of or not Capcom, but enough of the Marvel, and I don't do enough reviews on games on the channel for me to I'm doing all these old school games, right? So maybe over time when I start streaming some games, maybe somebody starts sending me some codes and some betas for me to test, and then you can catch these hands. They're rated E for everyone. I let anybody. I'm just playing. Is Sam Show 2 worth it? Worth getting if V Special is coming out on AES Plus? There are some differences in each of the games, right? So characters, stages, soundtracks. Sam Show 2 is a little bit more of the traditional Samurai Showdown. Special, you're going to have some fatalities, things of that nature. So it's really just going to depend on your game style and preference. Like Sam Show 2 is a very solid game. It's probably one of the favorites amongst many of the all-time the old school collectors. They like that just because it was just raw, straight to the point. Played really well, wasn't buggy. It still holds up. So definitely something to think about. I mean, if you're getting the bundle, you got special Gucci. But I do say for a lot of you out there that you might be wondering about different variants and sequels to certain games, because there's a lot. KOF is a perfect example. There's like 10 of them jokers, right? So you're going to run into scenarios where one game may be better than the other, and I get it from a pricing standpoint. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you just dropped $90 plus tax and you don't like the game, right? So I would say for certain games, just kind of do some due diligence. There's tons of videos on these games, on the gameplay. I know that's a lot sometimes, and people just want to know the word of mouth and all that, but I do recommend that take a look at the character select screen, take a look at some other reviews out there. I haven't done a review on Sam Show 2 yet. I will eventually. I just haven't gotten around to it. Yeah, appreciate you. I want the Mahjong controller too. I pretty much know how to play. You know what? I told myself that if I ever got a Mahjong game on there, I would buy it. I would buy it. So hopefully. Good evening. How are you? Thanks for dropping in. What's up, Johnny? What up, Ness? Huge fan, and I'm still building my AES collection. Any good suggestions to look? I know eBay definitely a no. Hunting down SNK versus Capcom and last KOF, that hot hit AOS, and maybe Mark of the Wolves. Man, it's really just going to depend on the pocketbook, because the games that you're listing right now, they're pricey if you're trying to go after the original. Mark of the Wolves, just get it when it comes out in November. You're going to be Gucci. KOF, you're getting 2002, but if you're looking for 2003, maybe we'll see that in a future wave. Otherwise, you could probably get away with doing like the Japanese versions of those games, because they'll be a lot cheaper for you on the AES. Now, that goes for everyone out there. Like, if you just absolutely have to have the first print, go Japanese, because it's going to be cheaper for you. Mind you, there's still some expensive ones out there, but if you're looking for something that's a little bit more common and you just want to pick those up, then I would go that route. Now, for SVC Chaos, that's just going to be expensive regardless. You know, you're going to be dropping a G plus on that. I would hope that we get some good news eventually. Maybe we'll see something come out of that, and we might get that in a future wave, which would be really great. And then we don't even have to worry about it. So hopefully, but outside of those, are you just looking more for the fighters, or is there anything else that you're looking for? Happy to answer. More complete at Ness. A while ago, I heard that the cartridges will be manufactured in Germany. Do you know if this was true? Yeah, there was notes of that they will be manufactured in Germany. I haven't heard anything else additional outside of that. Is that still the case? I don't know. I don't know. Have things changed? I don't know. I don't know. I think as more time goes on, we'll eventually hear some things from Play On to where we'll get some updates on that. Bro, the beta was free. My bad, man. Okay, it was free. Okay, so I'm making excuses. My bad, Antique. Okay, I didn't play. My PlayStation hasn't been on for 5 months. I haven't touched it. Sorry, my bad. I was busy this weekend. Okay, I was having too much fun. Zelda, a game I would like to see is Chrysalis. It was made by SNK. It was on the NES. Would give the Neo Geo an RPG-like experience, which I feel like it's needed. Yes, Chrysalis. I had that on NES. I had a CIB version of that for a long time. That would be really dope to have. The Real J Phillips checking in for a minute from Chicago. Big Dog, salute to you, sir. Appreciate you dropping in. Thank you so much. Is the AES Plus an offline console? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I think the only game that will have a server is Full Sets Overserved, which is under the Indie Studio. So they did what did they do? Yeah. They did Project Neon. So they did this game, right? So they've got Overserved coming, and that one's got a built-in Wi-Fi receiver inside of the cartridge, which is kind of dope. And they'll have a server that you can connect to, so you can play folks online. So it's not the console; it's actually within the cartridge, which is actually kind of dope. It's really cool how they decided to do that. So that'd be the only game that I know of that you can play online, but everything else is offline. Yeah. It's good. It's all good. I'll see y'all when the true game drops. Facts. I'll be on there because I'm gonna get a copy. It looks good. It does look good. Any word on licensing difficulties that may prevent certain titles from seeing a new release at $90? Mainly just speculation. There's folks that think that games like Viewpoint won't show up, or even the Capcom versus SVC Chaos or SNK versus Capcom Chaos. That, and there's a Windjammers. Some of the Data East games, there's tons of people out there talking about that, like, oh, there's going to be some difficulties. I would say it's way too early for us to kind of sit here and say, we're not going to get this game, we're not going to get that game. We don't know what conversations are having behind the scenes. And I am not going to be one to tell you all that, yes, this is coming, no, this is not coming, all that. Wait until Play On says it, because that is going to be the final defining note to say if we're getting something or not. And if they don't say it, then that's where we just continue asking those questions. Like, can we get this game? How long until we get this game? Who do we need to talk to? Who do we need to blow up on social media to get them to understand that the fans want this title? So Johnny, fighters mostly, and some odd ones. I know 8-Man would be a miracle find in Japan games is a must. In New York, in any good spots other than book off stores, praying that they have Neo Geo AES games. Yeah, and man, you know what? For the longest time, a lot of folks were saying like 8-Man's the game to get. You got to get 8-Man, and I played it. It's a good game. It's kind of one of those weird. I'm not going to say it's ultra common. I mean, it was ultra common at one point, but now it's becoming more of an uncommon game. I know collectors that have like 10 or 12 copies of the game. It's kind of weird, but I don't know why you need that many copies, but I digress. Yeah, I hope you find what you're looking for, but if it's fighters mostly, Garo, KOF, you know what? If you're looking for something outside of the norm, Galaxy Fight's kind of a weird, quirky fighter. Kabuki Clash is really good. Waku Waku 7 is another banger. Those are something that's, outside of the norm from your Fatal Furies and your Sam shows. And of course, you can't go wrong with Last Blade 1 and 2. Those are phenomenal fighters. So hopefully that answers your question. What's up, Doc? Oh, yeah. Neo Geo versions of all the SNK games that weren't on the system would be awesome. This right here. I want all the MVS exclusives brought over to AES. I want all of them. I want all the Japanese exclusives brought over for the English audiences, or all the additional audiences that didn't receive them. That's what I want. I want to see it. Yeah, that is some crazy Wi-Fi tech stuff. It's actually kind of cool. What's the reason behind Japanese titles typically being less expensive? One, it's a supply and demand thing. They just had more copies of the Japanese versions available. In the States, consoles just priced too high. Games were priced too high. And you're competing against Nintendo and Sega at the time. Pay $40-50 for a game versus dropping $200 for a game. Pay $200 for console versus paying $700 for a console. You get priced out real quick. And also, if your advertisements are more targeted towards adults, when at the time video games were still classified as more like a toy, they just couldn't find the right audience here in the States. And mind you, they had some folks here. There were some folks. I mean, again, those folks were older than what your Nintendo audience of playing Mario and Zelda would have been. But the number of quantities of those games came over to the States, it was smaller. There's thousands of copies of a certain game in Japan, and what they did is they would change the insert, change the cart sticker, make an English manual. Game's still the same, the boards are still the same. They don't make any other adjustments behind the paper and the manual and the cart sticker, but that paper and cart sticker and manual ended up being the most expensive thing about the game, which is crazy to me. Could you see PlayOn releasing a heritage cartridge with the older SNK arcade titles on a combo cart, something like Akari Vanguard Time Soldiers? That would be cool. I would like to see that. That would be good. Like, even if they did like some of the classics that we saw on NES bundled into, 3 or 4 games, 2 games, whatever, that would be cool to see. I can see that happening. I can definitely see that happening. That'd be kind of cool. Picked up the ultimate version thanks to your post. Good looking. Hey, appreciate you, Tim. I'm glad I was able to help. So happy. I have to give thanks to the audience too, because we've been going through this together for the last couple of weeks. So as updates come out, we all share that collectively as a community. So greatly, I'm happy to see that you were able to acquire. What state were you out of? Love to know, just in case other folks didn't see it, and if this is a state that's brand new, we'd love to know. So appreciate you. Bro, Last Blade 1 and 2 is grails here in New York, but thanks for the game. Yeah, no problem. Game Closet, what's going on? Good to see you. It's been so long. I haven't seen you, last year, Pittsburgh? It's been so long. How you been? Good to see you dropping in. Doc, LOL, yeah, man. It was hard to outprice the Japanese market. Them dudes were hardcore about their games. Hey, and that's why we end up going over there and buying a lot of the games. We love it. Okay, Maryland. Okay, thank you so much. So for those of you that are in Maryland, if you didn't know and you were wondering and waiting, you might want to go check on PlayOn's website just in case, if you are still looking for an Ultimate Bundle edition for that. Japan has long had stagnant economy, which has been getting quite a bit worse recently, which is why most everything is cheaper in Japan compared to US. Yeah. Pittsburgh. Yeah. Hope to see you soon. I have to get the new Neo Geo. Yes, you do have to get the new Neo Geo, and I need to know what your thoughts on it are. I need to see it. And folks, if you haven't gone to Game Closet's YouTube channel, go check it out. Great content. Great content. MC, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. And I am caught up, y'all. I'm caught up on the comments. This is lovely. I'm getting better. It is so awesome. Okay, so a couple of questions for the chat. Okay, we've had this conversation before. Accessories wise, now we've talked about games to come. What new accessory would you like to see for the AES Plus? That can be a different type of arcade stick. It can be a fight pad. It can be a really cool memory card. It could be what accessory would you like to see that we haven't seen before that you feel is needed for this new line of consoles? Nosapalooza, do you think we'll get Taito Puzzle Bobble? I really hope we do. I know there's been a lot of folks requesting Puzzle Bobble, so if we do get that, I think it'd be really good telltale sign that we're in really good shape. I hope so. Kendall Smith, question, Ness, English version games on Neo Geo AES, can you censor the games while playing English version? Well, actually, the English versions are generally censored, depending on your console. So, for instance, I have a Japanese AES and I have a Unibios console in there, so I can change the region that I'm playing. If I play the US version, perfect example, Metal Slug, when I defeat an enemy, there's sweat flying off their body, right? If I play that same version in Japanese, it's not sweat, it's blood. So there's the censorship there. And there's other games that have some other censorships, fatalities, things like that for the later Samurai Showdowns, etc. Another thing, right? So for, let's say, Fatal Fury or King of Fighters, Mai, for instance, she's a very bouncy individual. I'll just say that. They censored that bounce, right, in the English version. And then you look in the Japanese version, it's back. Hopefully you're reading in between the lines of what I'm talking about. But yes, that's yeah, that's just a few nuances, right? And then like probably one of the bigger censorships, right, would be NAM 1975, right? And this is we're just talking about the cover, right? So the cover art here is this young lady here has a rifle, and they've used a marker to cover up her leg and her cleavage, right? And it's the same way on the manual and on the cartridge. They did that because where they were shipping games to certain countries, they don't like that. They don't like seeing that level of skin shown, so they censored those out. So, and people are going to say, well, does that make the ones without the marker less expensive or more expensive? No, it's just you'll hear censored and uncensored, and it's really just the marker. And a lot of people are like, oh, I can remove the marker. Oh, I've tried. I've used tons of chemicals to get that off. I don't know what they used for that. I have no idea, but it didn't come off. So I didn't want it eating through my plastic and messing up my box, so I gave up. Light guns. Oh, I like it. And I think we have the technology now to where we could do that for our HD TVs. I like that. I'd love to see a light gun game. 6-button fight pad for Capcom ports. Facts. Definitely. It does not have a light gun. No, it does not. It would be dope, though. I'm crazy. I'm looking forward. Yes! Big tournament golf. Yes! You are not a lame, sir. You are not a lame. Big tournament golf is one of my all-time favorites on the console. You and I are in great company. 6-button fight sticks. I'm seeing a trend here, y'all. I'm seeing a trend here. Let's see. A ghost. You good with the dust cover? Okay. We need 6-button arcade sticks just in case Capcom wants to port some fighting games on A. Okay. I'm hearing a lot about the fight sticks. Who do we want to make the fight sticks? Do we have any preferences on this? And I'm not talking about the new school where it's just all buttons and no joystick. I want the, we need to go. We got to keep it somewhat old school here. I would like a light gun, but a game would have to be made for sure. I love to have King of Monsters. King of Monsters is such a classic. Release the bouncy cut. Steering wheel. Always thought racing games would be great on Neo. Oh man, so that'd be kind of cool to see. Yeah. Especially early outrun titles. Yeah. Either Razor or Victrix. Okay. Those are solid. Okay, so we've heard a couple from the audience here in terms of accessories. Okay, so let me throw one more curveball at you all. Okay. If it was possible, and let's say they put together a game that's just super crazy OP, like they were really flexing the amount of capability that the console can do. If there was one game, and I'm not talking about just your classic ports that are just going to be easy to move over. If there was one game that would really stress test the AES and still be functional, what game would you want that to be? You only get one. I'll give you some time to think about it. Porting from one arcade architecture or another might be challenging, though. Yes, it would. Yeah, there will be some challenges in making sure that it works. So it's light gun, 6-button fight stick, and racing wheel. So far, that's what we have. Doom. We've seen a lot online about Doom right now, how difficult and what they're working through. So since I purchased the Neo Geo AES Plus White Edition US, so buy the games in Japanese so that way they're on. Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, you can. That's if you want to get the first prints. Otherwise, I'm gonna tell you all this right now. Like, look, if you want first prints, cool. By all means, do that. But I would be patient and just wait, because $90 is a lot better than dropping $18,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 on one video game. I'm living proof of that. Hence why I've slowed down tremendously. You tell me you can, the company that I've been buying the games of for the last 7 years is now going to make officially licensed games again. I'm buying those. I'm buying those. Yeah. There's going to be a whole shelf over here full of play on games. I don't care. They're going to play on my AES either way. They're just going to be just fine. These will still get played. Don't get me wrong. Got to make sure these are still good. Antique Third Strike. You think Third Strike, you think it can handle it? You think it can be handled on the Neo Geo? No huff or fuss? Wonder says, X-Men versus Street Fighter, my husband's favorite. Ooh, that'd be a good one to stress test. That'd be a real good one to stress test. That Marvel vs. Capcom 2 might push it. That and Third Strike. I take either. Tekken 2? Whoa! Whoa! I'd love to see it, though. That'd be kind of cool. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Okay. Pushing the system to the limits with or without the turbo switch enabled. I mean, don't know. What's up, Jimmy? What's crack-a-lacking? What's going on? You got Metal Slug X MVS. I play on Neo Geo AES converter. You got MVS. I'm sorry, Metal Slug X MVS. I play on Neo. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Play on converter for sure. JoJo's Bizarre. Okay. You could sell 2 games and probably fund a trip to Japan. Yeah, I could. But I'm not going to. No. Just so I can turn around and buy some Neo Geo games in Japan. I sell Neo Geo games to fly to Japan to buy more Neo Geo games. Not First Prince. I'm buying $90 games. Sorry. Hey, $90. I'm telling you, $90 is good. Is the Neo Geo hardware capable of running Street Fighter 3 or the alphas? I think it can do it. I think it can. I mean, there might need to be some reswizzling on the back end. Now, I mean, I don't think we really tested that though. That would be nice to see. I'd love to see the alphas though. You give me Alpha 3 and Third Strike. Oh my God. Could you think of the cover art for those 2 games in a Neo Geo format? The cart sticker, the manual. Oh my God. That would be insane. Do you know how much money Capcom would make off of those games? Do you know? Oh my goodness. It would be insane. Tell me I'm getting all the alphas and Third Strike and Double Impact on Neo Geo. Oh my gosh. You would get a resurgence of all those games all over again. Don't get me wrong. There's still a huge fan base for all of those games because they're solid fighters. Very good fighters. Third Strike is one of my favorites. Alpha 3, one of my favorites. World Tour in Alpha 3 was my jam growing up. I spent a whole summer maxing out World Tour trying to get Shin Akuma, trying to get Evil Ryu, Guile, everyone unlocked. Had my memory card loaded with all the secret characters. Man, that'd be awesome. So have patience. There you go. Gotta have it. Maybe we're just insane, but I kind of think why everyone's so excited, not just including the nostalgia, but it really does feel like the system getting relaunched. It does. And I think that's why I'm so pumped about it too, because I didn't get to experience the launch either. I was too young, right? I'm 41. I'm I know collectors 10, 15 years older than me, much more knowledgeable in Neo Geo. Mind you, I've took a huge dive into the community and reading and navigating forums and reading old articles, all that stuff. And then just talking to collectors that I've met over the years and getting their insights on it. Like there is so much Neo Geo rich history out there that you can't find online just because it wasn't documented. It's so weird. It's like these hidden mysteries of the history of it. Like there's SNK related history that people don't know about. There's game development that fell through that didn't get finished that people don't know about. There's collection scandals in the late 90s and early 2000s behind certain individuals and certain groups that created games and all this stuff. There's all this crazy nonsense. Now, yeah, don't get me wrong. There's stories in every video game community for every console, but there's just so much history in this console, and you all get to get the fresh eyes and the fresh start of it, right? You're beginning from, I'm not gonna say ground zero, but you get a fresh new lens at this with the capabilities of there being games that we just didn't see on the console. So that's makes it so much better. I have the JAMA Alpha 3 in the oh no, man. If I could find a JAMA um, Capcom versus SNK 2 for my Nova Blast. Like we had a game convention here, Retropalooza. Well, I think last year was the last one they did, so they won't have one this year. Or no, they had one earlier this year. I didn't get to go. They had a booth that had a bunch of JAMA games. They had Alpha 2. No, they had Alpha 3.0. And there was some other stuff, and they had tons of MVS super guns and all that stuff. The last time I had gone, I told myself if I ever gone back, I was going to pick up a JAMA. Never did. Unfortunate. Alphas would be fire. Man, can't wait to grab my Ultimate Edition. Let's go. Alpha 2 for me. If Alpha 2 works semi on, yes, right there. And I'll tell you this, I had Alpha 2 on Super Nintendo. That game played horrible on Super Nintendo. Played horrible. And then I played it later years on PlayStation, and I was like, golly, this is like a night and day difference. Like, it played so much better on PlayStation. Like Alpha 2, I played the heck out of Alpha 2 on Super Nintendo growing up. That was like one of my last games on the console that I can remember. But man, yeah, it should work just fine on the Neo Geo. I think so. Man, you guys keep talking about Third Strike on AES Plus. My pants aren't gonna stay clean for long. This guy. Oh, and Homer versions, not the arcade version. Oh, yeah. And finally was able to join Ness Live. Man, I went to Japan for 3 months early in the year and bought 20 AES CIB 2 months before. Oh my gosh, Dan. Good Lord. You picked up the caboose of AES games. That is amazing. Any games you want to highlight out of that 20 bundle lot that you purchased? Give us 2 or 3 titles that you picked up. Love to hear it. Maybe Cadillacs versus Dinosaurs will finally get a release. Yes, it does. Mortal Kombat Collection 1 through 3. How many physical games do I? Man, you know what? I was supposed to make a count. I was supposed to count because someone asked me this question last week. I had a total of like 120 AES games, duplicates, sealed, all that, Japanese and English. I'm somewhere around the 80 mark now. It doesn't look like it, but yeah, I'm right at 80, I think, looking at what I have on the back. I got rid of quite a bit. But yep, I was 6 games away, -2, from completing my English set. And that was last year. That's where I was sitting at. So rather unfortunate. It is what it is. It happens. You got to do what you got to do. Yes. Bringing up old wounds. Thank you. I saw the original Neo in display at Toys R Us. Sad that does not exist in same form anymore. Yeah, man. Those were the days where you could just go into a store and that kiosk was there. Now you see all these kiosks being sold online. It's crazy what people pay for them. It's crazy to see that. Neo Geo to me is like playing 1-to-1 arcade originals. Exactly. It's exactly the feel. That is exactly what it is. So Neo Geo has lost media. Wow. Oh yeah. There's tons of stuff out there. You could go and read all this stuff. Like, for instance, Garo Mark of the Wolves, the sequel to that, they were actually creating that. It was like 70% done. Like, there's character sprite designs online that you can find. All of that. They had some additional characters. They brought characters over from the first game, and they brought a couple of characters back. I think I've only seen like one stage sprite animation for that, but that's it. So we don't now where that sits now. I have no idea. When companies go bankrupt and you start losing a lot of that, a lot of stuff starts going missing over time. So who knows? I'm 45. I can tell you, when Neo dropped, the entire neighborhood sat at the curb next to our bikes talking about it for 2 straight hours. LOL. No, we didn't. It was the next neighborhood over. I had a friend of mine. He had a Nintendo. We both did, and he had a buddy that he was friends with in the next neighborhood over, and they had a Neo Geo. His dad was some like big time executive or something like that. And he brought home a Neo Geo or something like that. So when we would ride bikes, we would roll over to the other neighborhood. That's back when parents let you do whatever. You could stay out as long as you made it home before the street lights came on. You can be out, just get out of the house, go play, right? That's back in the day. But went to his house, and I never got to see it. I never got to see it. Like my buddy was telling me about it, and I walked up and I couldn't go in because I knew better. Like my parents were like, no, you don't go into anybody's house that we don't know. So I had to stay at the front door. You know, my mom was really strict about that. Like, you don't go into folks' house that we don't know. I haven't talked to their parents. I don't know how they live, all that stuff. So that if introductions were made, then I could go in. So I never got to see it. Yeah, I knew he had it because my buddy was telling me about it, but I never got to see it. So I didn't get to see an actual Neo Geo in person until my junior year of high school. That was the first time I saw one in person. And me and my buddies were big. I mean, we were mall rats, but we stayed at the arcade all day, right? So after school, we would just, you know, we would work, but any free time, we were at the arcade or we were at somebody's house playing Capcom versus SNK 2, Marvel versus Capcom 2, King of Fighters 99, and Third Strike, and Alpha 3. Those were the 5 in rotation all the time. And then we met these older guys that played in the tournament circuit. So this was in Colorado at the time. And these guys were in their 20s, right? You know, they got their own places and all this stuff. And I never will forget it. The guy's house that we went to, his whole basement was lined out with video games. He had a Neo Geo. He had Garo sitting on the shelf. And I was like, oh my God. And it didn't really cross my mind that it was Garo at the time, but I saw the Neo Geo and we talked about it. It was crazy. It's always cool to see those kind of stories. Sorry, I kind of spiraled there. You just sparked a lot of a lot of memories there. Man, if I could get official Capcom arcade beat 'em up carts for AES Plus, that would be amazing. Oh yes. Oh yes. I'm excited to finally have a Neo Geo 98-inch TV. Groovebox, is it true that there's only 3 waves of 10 games planned? A lot of us are hoping there's a future beyond that for AES. That is all speculation right now. There's a lot of folks online that say 3 waves is all you're going to get, or that's what we're planning, or this and that. No one has given us a 100% confirm on that from the play on side. Regardless if someone talked to someone somewhere during whatever interview, that's partial information. That is not confirmed from the direct source in a public forum. So I say this to everyone that wants more games. We all want more games for sure, but I would say let's wait and see what closer to time when release. Just me working in, you know, the business of sales and tech, generally, you know, the marketing beats are as follows. We give the community, or we give the consumers information on what's to come, and then closer to time when we've gotten things ironed out and finalized, that's when we really start hammering home all the information, the GA dates and all that type of stuff. We start hearing more information about that. So I would say let's just give it a month or 2 more, and we'll probably hear something more about it. Because I know I'm just as excited as y'all. I want to know too. I want to know about the waves and what's coming. Me and my uncle spend transport fares playing KOFs after. Man, memories. You can't, man, those memories right there, those are the best. Those are the best right there. Art of Fighting 3. What's up, Jelly? Art of Fighting 3. Yeah, that'd be good to see. How many of you are playing R? You playing the one on Steam? Have you tried that yet? I haven't had a chance to. I mean, I have the original, but I haven't tested the new one with King and Yuri. If any other system could get this same re-release treatment, what would you want? Yeah, I mean, we can get it, but it's not going to be at this level. Like I've said this, I think last week or the week before, that the formula and all the chemical reaction of everything that's happened with this, no other console has gone through this. Like, you had the most expensive console with the most expensive video games for a very small audience that kept a small audience for 30 years. Now everyone that wanted that console now has a chance to get it because it's now affordable in all formats, right? Or all, what I mean by all formats is like all the games that we know of so far, right? I don't think it's going to be the same for any other console. Now, I say all that to say, like, would I want to see another console? Yeah, we could see one, but I'm not going to focus on it. Like right now, I want to see how this comes out first, right? I want to see, like, once we actually get some hands-on experience with the console and we get to play it, we really get to put it through its paces and see how the games play, all that stuff, and then what the support looks like after release and all this stuff. That's when we can start asking questions like, okay, they've locked this down. They've got this under control. This is good. We're seeing a good suite of games coming, etc. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I think right now it's still too early for us to start, just my opinion, to ask and see, like, what other consoles do we want? Again, I go back to Sega. That's just me, because I already know Nintendo was not going to play ball for anything like that. So if they did, they're going to keep that in-house for them. What interests me in the AES Plus launch isn't so much these games that I love, that I get to play, as much as the potential system could bring to modern gaming. Facts. I was hoping for 8-bit dough to PlayStation version Neo Geo pad. Oh, yeah. That'd be kind of cool. I'm pretty sure with a converter you can do that, though. Because, I mean, we were doing that already. But, I mean, the button configuration might be a little weird. But, yeah. Ooh, X-Men Children of Atom. Yeah, that'd be kind of nice. Alpha 2 on SNES was amazing. I mean, I don't recommend it, but the game had no business being on the system and put a lot of other fighting game ports to shame. It did. I love your live stream once per week. It's like a countdown for the AES Plus. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I see we have oh man, I'm gonna have to skip down a little bit. I'll come back to some of these comments. My bad for being slow, y'all. Electro Wayne, appreciate the super chat, Wayne, so much. Thank you. Appreciate these lives. Keep this up. I'm sure this pace will be overloaded come November. I'm definitely gonna have to have some backup closer to November, because I have a feeling that this might get a little crazy for me to handle a lot of the comments over time, especially when y'all get me going down memory lane. I get to talking, I gotta chill out. But I want to talk to each and every one of you, right? So I want to make sure each and all of you get some love. Doc, gotta listen to Mama. She done right. You're living proof. Hey, I appreciate that, Doc. Thank you. Mom's is the one that got me gaming, so yeah, she's the one that made me very competitive at nature for gaming. Love the Neo Geo CD full. Ooh, you have the Neo Geo CD full set. Nice. Yeah, I've started acquiring some CD games, mainly just sealed stuff. Just quietly. I'm not making any posts or really much about it, but just when I find a good deal, I'll pick something up. Yeah, I was so lucky because I just retired and took trip of lifetime. KOF 98. I snagged pristine copy, Real Bout Special, all the Samurai Spirits games. Baseball Star 2 are the highlight. Man, Dan, well, congratulations on retirement. Congratulations. I can't wait for the day that I can retire, because Lord, yeah, working for the man. Oh man, I know that's awesome. Well, congratulations, and congratulations for your acquired games. Those are a good lineup of games for sure. Dan or Dave, I've never actually seen real Neo Geo AES software or hardware back in the 90s. We knew it existed because of magazines, but I have yet to see any in person to this day. It's coming very soon. Very soon. Many of you are going to be able to feel that tangible item, play those games, those big VHS style size cartridges, as DigiNess referred to in the KOF 2002 video. Same Dave, never saw it. Just I used to be the lead dev for OpenBOR over a decade ago, and there were a lot of good fan base mods based on Neo Geo artwork. Just shows the impact of SNK. Oh, I love hearing this. Sumo, that is interesting. And I've heard some similar cases too, where, you know, just the foundational portions of the artwork and how that's impacted some of the industry for other areas. That's amazing to see. Are you still in the industry, or did you move off to greener pastures, or you just kind of dabbling here or there? Is there an NVS converter for the AES? Yes, there is. So let me see if this is still up. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer out after I pull this up. So give me 1 second while I do this. Let's see. Stone Age. Okay. So, I'll share my screen here. Stone Age Gamer is offering a fusion converter, NVS to Neo Geo AES converter with a black shell. They have this, right? So here's what it looks like. This top piece here is where you would slot your NVS cart. And for reference, here's your NVS cart. All right, so we're going to use, what is that? Baseball stars. Let me let's see here. Hold on. There we go. So for reference, baseball stars right here. So your contact points are here. Of course, if you're looking at an AES cartridge, your contact points are going to be different, which is why we need converters. And there's your cartridge, right? So you stick that on the top of the converter, and then you insert this bottom piece here to the this bottom piece here to the AES. Now, what came out on Twitter was there was some terminology used here that there was some other changes. This is not, it was used that it was the final version, which was incorrect, right? So Vertec had put out a post on Twitter, which since he's probably talked to Stone Age Gamer about, etc. From what I've gathered is that there is going to be a revised version of the Fusion converter from Vertec himself, right? So there's going to be another version of this that most likely will align closer to the AES Plus. Now, will this still work? Yes, it will. Yes, it will still work. So I thought I would share that with the group. I did. I placed an order for one of these because I don't have one, and I wanted to test it out. Now, if the other one comes out and it's different and there's something different, I guess I'll just have to pick that up. I was going to return this, but I think for the sake of this, there's many of you asking questions about this, so I figured I would do the test first. You know, I don't want to recommend. I never want to recommend anything to you all that I haven't bought myself and tested it myself. So when I have, I'll just do a review. I'll just do a review of it, and if it makes sense, then we'll be good to go. Let's all hope for amazing reviews on AES Plus system and games at launch. Yes. What kind of sound system are you using for your Neo Geo? I've got a what is that? What is that? I think it's a Samsung. Samsung with the I can't think. With a little bass thing, a little box at the bottom. I can't think. Soundbar. Yeah, with the subwoofer. So I've got that hooked to my TV. That's what I'm using. Is it worth to have more than one memory card? I mean, I don't personally think so. I really don't. But if you plan on saving a lot, then maybe. I mean, I know it's going to have more memory than the old school version, so there is that. But if y'all want to, dabble in having more than one, then yeah, then by all means, for sure. Okay. Oh, let me drop down and I'll get back to the top. Dashy93, appreciate you for the super chat. Thank you so much. I know it won't happen, but could a port of Konami's X-Men and Simpsons arcade games be ported to the AES Plus with the console's tech? I think right now where we're at, there's a lot of questions that are coming up around what can be done and what can't. I think after it's released and we see some games, maybe some games that we haven't seen before, maybe if some things like that get announced, I think we'll be in a good shape to really start seeing if certain games like this and some of the others that folks have dropped in the chat would be beneficial for the console. So I'm not going to say no, because I think there's a lot of untapped capabilities with the AES that I don't think we really got a chance to really do, because the console just didn't have the support back then. So, I think there was a lot of untapped potential in the console, which you see in a lot of the later titles, right? Because if you look at some of the early titles, the meg counts were like 50, 40. And then you start looking at the in life cycle of the game, you're at 700 megs, right? So I think there's a lot of untapped potential in the AES that we really haven't tested yet. And if we have the resources and developers, et cetera, that are really interested in that, I think we'll be in a good place to start seeing some of these games if publishers want to dabble in the licensing and do the partnerships with SNK and PlayOn. Hopefully that answers your question. I'm going to move back up because I don't want to miss out on any of the others. Antique, Ness, I'm in a huge dilemma come August 1st. I can either look into getting AES Plus or the Stranger Things 4K complete series box set from Stop the cap. Give me a break, bro. Give me a break. The Streetlights game, you already know what it is. Couldn't said better, Ness. What sound system are you using? Oh, we already talked about it. My bad. Okay. She said, shout out to Mama Richness. Come on, so crates. What trash Geo game you want a sequel to, and what improvements do you want in it? I want the Super Spy 2 with more music, weapons, and attacks. That is a good question. Oh, y'all gonna hate me. Y'all are gonna hate me. And I know so many of you love this game, and I'm just not a fan. Ninja Combat, do better. That's it. That's all I got to say. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm overly picky with my Ninja games. It is what it is. Sorry. I retired from game development, moved on to Roblox. Nice, Sumo. Very nice. Very nice. Hey, what's up? What's up, Bourbon Ness, aka Henny Ness? Oh man, I'm not drinking tonight. We need more games that could enable online play, like what Overserved is doing. Could be amazing playing with other Neo Geo enthusiasts on real hardware. I agree. I definitely agree with that. And I think for certain games, it makes sense. And I'm not quite sure how that's going to work with some of the fighters. I think I would like to see it tested across some of the, because when you start getting the fighting lobbies and all that stuff, and it's going to be weird. I want to see it tested on some of the, not as taxing games, maybe a Slug, or, a Shock Troopers, or maybe even a Blues Journey or something like that. Something simple to see, just to test the waters and see what it looks like and maybe they offer that. Dr. Slump, what's up? I'm hoping the AES Plus will get KOF 2003 released. I do too. I would like to see KOF 03 on there. I would. But I have ported the game engine to PSP, Linux, Windows, Game Park, original Xbox, Wii, Dreamcast. But after 10 years of supporting the engine, moved on. Yeah. Well, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. I'm in Japan right now trying to get Neo Geo games, and they are completely dry. No games left, and the few left in bad condition and overpriced. Wow. Hey, I mean, the news happened, and it seems like a lot of content creators, a lot of folks were in Japan. I have seen so many people in Japan this year that I didn't even know wanted to travel to Japan were there. And a lot of them were buying games. So, yeah, for sure. Ness, do you have a physical copy of Capcom Fighting Collections 2? If yes, I wrote the Capcom versus SNK mini comic included inside. And yes, I made sure to write it that Mai had her bounce. I actually do. It's actually sealed. I haven't opened it. I haven't just gotten around to playing it. But yeah, I'll have to crack it open now. Take a look at that comic for sure. Dope. Let me get down here. Back to accessories. Everyone keeps mentioning some of the homebrew carts with network adapters. It's not my thing, but an Ethernet adapter for online play would be good. Good idea. Yeah, that'd be good. Ninja Comic can go to hell. Question: Are any of the original developers for Neo Geo still making games or working? I mean, they may be somewhere in the industry. I don't know for sure. I haven't stayed as close to that, so I don't know for sure. Let's see. What's it, man? Riding Hero needs a lot of improvements. Riding Hero, like, I love League Bowling, but League Bowling needs to be refreshed. That's another one too. Ness, is your collection strictly AES, or do you have the MVS system as well? So I have two consoleized MVSs, and I have an MVS 1 that's in my Nova Blast, so I can just play it in my Candy Cab. And then I've got a handful of MVS titles. So y'all saw, of course, Baseball Stars Professional, and then I've got a copy of, actually, what do I have? I've got Sam Show 1 on MVS, and then I've got a Xeno Crisis MVS on. So those are the I had quite a few more, but I got rid of those. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. You can find first prints much easier in France. Gaming stores or Spain conventions much more expensive though. Yeah, I've heard that. Legend of Success Joe deserves a successful second game. Man, that's probably one of the few games I still haven't played. I need to play it. I have it on my MVSX. I just need to test it out. Blackfinger Jet game. The dev guy making that is a former Metal Slug artist. Okay. Cool. All right, let's see here. Okay, y'all, we've been on here for 2 hours. I'm not going to hold y'all too much longer. Okay, so as updates, tomorrow, new video drops tomorrow. We are going to talk about the high reproduction Ninja Masters and the authentic Ninja Masters. I'm going to take you through and show you some things very up close and personal on these games that I don't think we've seen many videos on before. So hopefully you'll find interest in that in terms of, for more of your high-end games, for my first print collectors, in terms of authenticating some of these games. So I wanted to do something a little different. So stay tuned for that. That's I actually like the way this video turned out. It's very simplistic, but it gets straight to the point and we get right down to the bare bones in terms of that. So I hope you'll like that. And then we'll do a follow-up video to that once we see the Play On games release, so we can see some differences between the new version of cartridges and what the first prints look like, etc. So we'll have that. And then next week, I'll be back on Tuesday with another live, and then Mission Neo Geo next week. So we'll have another episode for that with Tiberius. We'll be back in full effect. Tiberius will be there, yes. I know y'all need to get y'all's Tiberius fixed. So I won't leave him out. Tiberius is Mission Neo Geo is Tiberius' show. So greatly appreciate y'all. Collect and play the way you want to collect and play your games. And I'll check y'all tomorrow for tomorrow's episode. Peace out. Have a great evening, morning,